Repeat after me. Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony about this is the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Okay, take your seat there and lean toward the microphone and use your outside voice. Tell us what your name is. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead.
Miss Cavallari, where are you a resident?
In Sacramento, California.
And how long have you lived in California?
Majority of my life.
Okay.
Just a little louder.
Majority of my life.
Okay. And were you related to Michael Hart?
Yes.
How?
Yes.
Okay.
He was my dad.
And how many children did he have?
He had two.
Okay. And what? And you and your
And my younger brother, Stephen.
Hardy?
Yes.
Now, at some point in time, did your mother and father divorce?
Yes. I believe I was around 7 years old.
And when you were younger with your father, what was his occupation?
He was in the Navy and he was also in the Army.
Did he move around a lot?
Yes.
And did you move as a child?
Yes.
Now, when he was prior to his death, were you aware of what kind of business he was in?
Yes. He was in HVAC.
And excuse me. After your mother and father divorced, what type of relationship did you have with your
I
father?
was close with my dad.
And how often would you get to see him?
When I was a child.
Okay. And yes, ma'am.
Yeah, when I was a child, we would see him like every other weekend, every few weeks.
Okay. And at some point in time, did you live with your father?
Yes, I did.
And what was your age?
About 15, 16.
And I hate to ask you, how old are you now?
I'm 37.
37. Okay. And how would you characterize your relationship with your father prior to his death?
It wasn't great.
Right here, the tone shifts fast. Up to this point, it sounds like standard family background testimony. But the moment she says the relationship wasn't great, the jury knows conflict is about to become central. In trials like this, emotional distance can matter just as much as physical evidence. What caused the breakdown, and does it connect to the case?
Okay. And what was the problem? How long had it been since you've been able to see your father?
When he moved here, it had been about 3 years.
Okay. And what was the irritant or the problem in your relationship with your father?
Julie Hardy.
Okay. Can you tell the jury what happened? Did you ever have any contact with Julie Harding after she married your father?
Yes.
And how did that go?
Not great.
Okay. Was there any specific incident that you can remember that caused you to be alienated from your father, Julie Harding?
Yes, she was trying to help me. He wanted her to help me.
That testimony is powerful because it introduces alleged family alienation through a very personal insult. Jurors often remember human moments more than technical ones. A single degrading comment can explain years of resentment better than 10 documents ever could. Do you think this paints motive, bias, or simply family dysfunction?
Get a state job because I'm a stay-at-home mom. And while in that process, she told me I was pathetic because I was a stay-at-home mom. And just the conversation just didn't go right.
What kind of insults, in other words?
Yeah, she just insulted me the entire time.
Yeah. Now, after that, you said you didn't see your father. Would you still keep communication with him by phone or other means?
I thought, yeah.
And so you still, how often would you speak with him?
I don't know. My life's pretty busy, so maybe once a month.
Okay. And then prior to his death, when was the last time you spoke with him? Your father?
Maybe a month or two before he moved to Tennessee.
Okay. And how did you learn that he had become missing?
My grandmother called me.
Notice how quickly the first witness is excused and reserved for recall. That's a strategic move. It means attorneys may want to bring her back later after other evidence comes in, possibly to connect dots or challenge contradictions. In courtroom chess, sometimes a witness exits early only to become important later.
And were you or your brother making any attempt to try to find your father?
Yeah.
Contacted numerous times.
I called him quite a few times.
And your brother, I think, what was his occupation?
My brother,
Yes.
he is a Coca-Cola distributor.
Was he in the HVAC business anymore?
No, but he did help my dad on jobs.
That's all I have for witnesses.
Would you like to inquire this witness?
No.
Okay, now, is this witness going to be reserved for recall?
Yes.
Okay, you may be excused and be reserved for recall. Who's your next witness?
We don't have any more of that.
Okay. Well, you raise your right hand, you swear the testimony about the gives the truth. Take a seat there, record the red microphone, and use a good voice and tell us your name.
Pamela Brown.
You may proceed.
And how are you employed?
Actually, at the time I was working with Hart Foods, it's now Casey's here in Burnsville.
So now it's called Casey's?
Yes.
And that's here in Burnsville?
Yes.
It's not far from the square?
No.
And you were working there in 22?
Yes.
Now, this is where testimony gets more concrete. Surveillance footage. Cases often pivot when a narrative moves from emotions to timestamps, cameras, and recorded evidence. If that footage is authentic and complete, it can carry serious weight with jurors. But the key question is always chain of custody. Who had it, copied it, and how it was preserved.
Did you have any surveillance footage that would have occurred on September the 19th of 22?
I did.
And who did you turn that over to?
Scott Newman
And how did you record that?
on a thumb drive.
And you gave it to Scott Daniels?
Yes.
And who was he at the time?
He was the sheriff.
Did you ever have any contact with B.J. Burton?
I did. We spoke numerous times. It's just, I traveled with my job and he did too, and I just left permission there at the store that he was welcome to come by and view the footage, and which he did.
He did come to the
Yes.
store and view it?
He did.
Do you recall how he recorded this?
On his phone, yeah, that was his plan to do it over his phone.
And he recorded the same thing that you would have downloaded for Scott Daniel?
Absolutely, yes.
And it was very accurately reflected what showed on the surveillance footage on September the 19th
Yes.
of 2022?
I wrote the times and dates down that the number out that I did for Scott before BJ was left at the store.
So he was able to review the time?
Yes.
And you authorized him to record that?
I did.
That's all the questions I have.
No questions for this witness, Your
You
Honor.
may be excused. What's that rent there?
The judge's jury warning may sound repetitive, but it's critically important. He's protecting the case from mistrial territory. One juror Googling a name, checking Facebook, or watching commentary online can jeopardize everything. In the smartphone era, this speech is basically courtroom firewall protocol.
Who's your next witness?
Heather Cavalier. Heather Cavalier.
Heather? Exactly 4:30. So, I was 10 minutes late starting this morning. We're on time and we'll try to keep that. So let's be in our seats in the morning at 8:30. There will be the parking lot directly behind the Justice Center. It's right like all of these parking lots. There will be officers there that will show you how to get in, down sideways and in the main door. Get out here. Of course, we make lunch arrangements for you tomorrow. We'll try to go along at a steady pace. It's an important case. We'll give everybody enough time. But we'll probably go about 4:30 tomorrow also. Okay? So at this time, everyone else remain seated, and the jury may be excused until 8:30. And I've got one other thing I've got to do, and that is agree to admonition. You must decide this case based solely on the evidence presented within the four walls of this courtroom. While in and out of the courtroom during the trial, you may not consult with dictionaries, reference materials, internet searches, websites, blogs, or other electronic tools or post information about this case, obtain information about this case.
And just like that, court recesses for the night. But don't mistake a quiet ending for an uneventful day. Today, planted emotional family conflict, surveillance evidence, and procedural groundwork. Tomorrow is where those threads may collide. If you were on this jury right now, what would be your biggest unanswered question?
Or anything you might think would help you deliberate, because it's not time for you to deliberate yet. During this course of the trial, you are to not communicate online with anyone connected to the trial, including witnesses, counsel, jurors, or experts. Do not conduct any research in this case or reveal information about the case with anyone else on social media, cell phones, smartphones, laptops, computers, videos, or any other device. You should abstain from watching any internet or internet service or text or instant messages or online news, online databases, or Wikipedia, social networking websites such as Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram, Snapchat, or Twitter. Do not record or photograph any part of these proceedings, and not talk to each other or anyone else about anything until you're released to do so. Each one of you understand that. If there's a violation of this or anyone tries to talk to you about this case, you should immediately contact the sheriff's office and report that. If anyone approaches you, say you're on the jury and you can't talk about anything that happened. Okay? You all have a good evening, and we look forward to seeing you in the morning at 8:30. If the council like to be heard on anything, y'all better go ahead out this way. Council like to be heard on anything on the record before we end the day? No. If not, we will stand in recess until 8:30 a.m.
Have a good night, bud. Ma'am, do you need him?
Yeah, for just a minute.
I was going to bring this rest of the room. The room, but not the cell.